How is this year going for you? How is your 2025 going? Remember those goals you set back in January? Are you still working towards them? Are you still on and achieving them? Or have they completely gone out the window and changed? Have a listen to this episode and maybe get stuck into a half-year review and let us know what you think. Welcome to another episode of the Small Business Podcast for small businesses. Now, being in August, we thought it would be a good time to do a half-year review. Now, if you do this regularly for your business, whether you check in monthly, whether you check in quarterly, or whether you don't do it at all, it's probably a good time to start now. We are very often very good at doing check-ins or reviews or goal setting and just getting started at the beginning of January. Everything seems to start on the 1st of January, which is brilliant. But what about the rest of the year? Do we just bob along for 12 months? Do we review anything? Do we check anything? What should we be doing? Should we be doing anything? Well, yes, regularly you want to be checking in, whether it's with your business, your marketing, your financials, how the team's working, if you have a team, how the products are performing. It's good to know every aspect of your business as much as possible and as often as you possibly can, which is why it's important, which is what we thought, well, we'll talk about it. So 5 reasons why and 5 points to make on a half-yearly review or a regular check-in. Doesn't have to be half-yearly, as I say, it could be monthly or quarterly. Is because, number one, you want to measure your progress. You want to know how your business is doing. And that's not necessarily just financially. It might be comparing to your competitors. It might be how you're feeling, morale, what you're doing. Like I say, what products or services are performing, what you're known for, how your marketing's doing. Are you spending an absolute fortune on something like Yale.com and you're not getting any business from it? So where that should be focused. Looking at your expenses, what you're doing. So all of that progress and measuring, where were you against last year or the 1st of January? Because if you set out doing your goals and you knew what they were and had those aims, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 10 goals, depending how you set out, how are you progressing against them? Are you still on track? Have you met them already? Is it time to make new ones? Which is why it's always a good time to do it as regularly as possible to keep you on target and just change where you might want to be. So it might be that you've just course correct yourself, that you're back on track, because it's very, very easy with everything that gets thrown at us with small business owners. And because it's not a 9 to 5, it's pretty much 24/7. You want to be reminded of where you were, what your aims are, and where you want to be. So it's important to measure that and check it. The second one is adapting to market changes. So as I said, everything gets thrown at you as a small business owner and everything affects you, whether you like it or not. It might be something as high up to do with the government. It might even be something to do, as we all know, there's issues around US imports and exports. It might be something that's personal that's affected you and you need to adapt to those market changes. It might be even that a competitor's bought something else out, or someone's done something a bit dissimilar, or something on a real local scale has affected your business. So you have to adapt and respond to that. For example, one thing that's really important to note is social media. You don't own your social media accounts. As we saw in other countries, TikTok got taken down and taken away. TikTok can just disappear. Instagram can just disappear. Facebook could close. You've got no control over that. Just because you've got a page over that, you don't own the overarching. So that's why it's good to have a mailing list or your website or something, even if it's just an age-old, you send cards to people that you keep in touch with your customers somehow. But it's really, really good to adapt and be aware of all of that. So you're protecting and future-proofing your business, that any changes that could come up, and reviewing as well what's happened in your industry. Is a specific market change just for your industry? How has it changed? Have you had a competitor shut down so you're actually busier? So you know where your business is coming from. as I said, for measuring progress, you want to know why customers are contacting you, and the market could change completely. So Facebook, for example, is not what it was 5, 10 years ago. So how has that changed? Is it the right spot for you? Is your target audience all on there, or should your efforts go in somewhere else? So it's really, really important to just check in with yourself and check in with the market. Unfortunately, nowadays, it's such a fast-paced world. It is probably worth doing monthly, quarterly, or even monthly. Half year might not be enough, but it depends on your industry and how fast things change and how much it moves. The next reason to do it is to boost focus and accountability. So we paused our accountability sessions. They start again at the end of September. And what we did was, when we did our goal setting workshop at the beginning of the year, so everyone who came set up their goals, we made a list, we wrote them down, and we were like, well, you want to be held accountable to them, because it's like if you see an Instagram post or video, or if you download a course of some sort, it's like, right, we're going to sit and write their goals. That's brilliant that you've sat there, you've considered them, you've written them down. Bonus, absolutely fantastic. But who's going to keep you accountable? And especially when you're a small business owner and working on your own, it's really, really difficult to keep that focus and keep that accountability, because you haven't got someone, a boss or anyone else, tapping your shoulder. Where's this? Where's that? What are you doing? Are you on track? Has this been done? Has that been done? And that's really, really important. So we set up our accountability sessions the end of every month, which we'll continue to do from September, for people to come and go, right, how are you doing? So exactly this, doing that review every month. How are you progressing towards your goals? There's a meme on social media that if someone followed you around for the day, would they think you're serious about your business? So are you doing something towards your goals every single day? It doesn't have to be a big thing, and it could be really subtle things, or maybe you just do it without even thinking. But it's really, really important to have that accountability and have that focus, because the minute you get distracted and other things come in or other questions come in, the best one is customer questions and customer contact. We can be contacted across email, phone calls, text messages, WhatsApp messages, visiting us. So we've gradually, social media messages, and that's messages across all the platforms. So we've gradually cut that down to just direct people to 1 or 2 points of contact, because we got to the point where we couldn't keep up with it. Our focus just was everywhere. So we couldn't reply to people quickly enough, specifically enough, and really narrow down what they wanted and be helpful. So we cut down some of those forms of communication. So now we're more efficient, we reply quicker, and we've generally just improved our customer service from it. So it's really, really important to keep that focus, but also that accountability. So if someone isn't going to do that for you, some people team up, 2 small business owners, sometimes even in the same industry, say 2 photographers together that work, because they know the industry. They know the pain points, they know what everyone's struggling with. So each other is really, really good to bounce off. So that's why we set up our accountability sessions, and why we're going to continue to do so, because it was really helpful. And the feedback we got from small business owners was brilliant, because as I said, so often they'd be going day to day and not talking to anyone. Okay, they'll talk to their family and friends, but not talking to anyone specifically about their business. And it was really, really good to have someone to bounce off and just go, yeah, I'm doing this. Is this correct? Does this work? Does that work? So focus and accountability is really, really important as well. The next important thing to do is celebrate your wins. And I'm not just saying the massive wins of getting to whether you want to get so many followers, or you want your reach up, or it's a financial win, or you've won an award. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the little wins that sometimes go pass us by. If you're not reviewing your business, if you're not checking your progress, if you're not going back to what are we doing, where are we, how's it working, how are you going to know if you're winning or not? Whereas if you're doing that regularly, you can celebrate those little wins and just reaffirm what you're doing is good and it's improving the business. It might be that you got a new customer or a new client or a new contract. You want a quote. It could be that you've got a brand new product that you've launched. It's really, really important to make a note of those and celebrate those, because all too often, and especially we're very British about it, oh yes, that just happened. But we don't go back and review that, and we don't go back and check that, and we don't say, do you know what, that was a really good day, or that was a really good piece of work, or whatever it might be. So it's really, really important. And especially with a time when imposter syndrome is absolutely massive for some people, it's celebrating those wins and just giving yourself a pat on the back, or just pausing to acknowledge what you've achieved, is really, really important and definitely helps with that side of things. Some people even keep emails from customers, so when people have emailed any kind of positive feedback or what they're grateful for or what they're happy for, then they keep that and save that just so they can dip in and look at it, because it's really important to not keep beating ourselves up. It's all too easy to talk about what's gone wrong. Yes, it's how we improve it, it's important to look at, but it's all too easy to just repeat that and keep saying, no, that's gone wrong, that's not worked. So let's talk about what has worked, because if it does work really, really well and you can celebrate that win or that new customer or that new product or that new service, then where's that come from? Did they find you through social media? Did they find you through Google? Did they find you from word of mouth? And then you can improve on that, because you find out what works for your business and what builds your business, and then go from there. The more of that you do, it's a bit like social media, the more types of videos or posts that do really, really, really well, absolutely brilliant. You just repeat them, you refine them and you repeat them, and then you just refine and refine so everything gets bigger and better and more efficient, and helps you not only save time, but celebrate more and more and more and just improve. And the last one, it improves your planning. So one of the sayings is fail to prepare, prepare to fail. So make sure you're planning, make sure you're improving your planning of what are you going to do for your business, what's coming up. So we're now in August, so the second half of the year, we're in the throes of summer. So what's working? What do you want to continue with? What you want to do going forward? Did you need to adapt and change your goals? What are you planning for? Are you planning on growth and building the business, or are you planning on staying where you are? Both of which are exactly the same. Maybe you're planning to wind down your business some way, or discontinue some products or services, or adapt or change or pivot in your business. But planning and preparing for that will 10 times, if not more, help you succeed. Because if not, you won't be prepared for what's coming up. So throw in a couple of market changes, throw in a couple of other things that you are not expecting, and suddenly all that planning will just go out the window. So sit, have a think. What are you planning to do? What's your aims for the rest of the year? Where do you want to be this time next year? What do you want next summer to look like? Maybe you want to take all of August off and have a break from everything. How will your business run without you? Or can you do a shutdown? Maybe we can be like the French and just shut off for the whole of August. That would be really, really nice. But again, we're too British for that, and we have to work 24/7 as much as possible. So plan for that. Plan to have your team around you, that your customer care is covered, that your clients are covered, that your business is covered. But also, what happens if we go seasonally? Is your business seasonal? Do you need to prepare for that? Is it going into winter that you'll see a shift in that as well? So you're adapting again to any market changes, seasonality, or what that progress might be or might change. So have a think of that. So each, whether you are doing this half yearly, quarterly, or monthly, they're the kind of 5 points you just want to consider and go through each time. So measuring your progress, adapting to market changes, boosting your focus and accountability. And again, we can help with that, or find someone that you work with or another small business owner that you can bounce off. Celebrating your wins and improving your planning. Really, really important to just go through all those 5 things And remember, goals don't have to start in January. You don't have to think, oh, I've got until January to restart again. You can set some goals and start tomorrow or September or whenever it might be, or next week. Start on a random Thursday at midday, whatever it might be. You do not have to start from the 1st of January. You can adapt, you can pivot, you can involve the business, whatever works for you. Just sit and think. Maybe the team get annoyed with me, but I love having a nice big A3 piece of paper and everything goes down and all my scrappy notes come together. They do come together in the end, I promise, but they end up forming the to-do list. But it just helps getting everything out and considering everything and gets the brain flowing into consider to meet those 5 points. We've reviewed everything we can to make our business more efficient and better, because sometimes it's that tiny change or that slight thing that you're doing, and we don't want to be busy fools. So if you can change that ever so slightly and just tweak things, that could make a huge difference to your business. So let us know how you get on with your half-year reviews, if you do a half-year review, or maybe you do it monthly already and it works really, really well for you. I've got clients that work on a monthly budget, so they review their financials every single month. I've got some clients that don't look at it from year to year. Both in some ways work, both in some ways really don't work. So it all depends, like with everything we say, it depends what kind of business you are, what kind of business owner you are, and what kind of person you are. And that's why we work with how the person works or how the business works. There's no point me sit here telling you exactly what to do and what we do and works for me, because that might not work for you. So let us know what works for you, because you never know, especially if you comment on some of our social media posts, it will definitely help someone else. But let us know how you get on with a review and send this to someone who might help in the future. And as always, like and subscribe and get back to us and let us know what you think.